Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
This episode is powered by Poddex.
Thank you for tuning in today. You are now listening to That Will Never Work podcast with your host, Maurice Chisholm. Hey everybody. How are you today? Let's get this thing started today, right? So it seems like I'm in this space of self-auditing, right? And that's one of the things that I've been talking about lately. Just taking a time to look at yourself as you're trying to build this brand of yours. And I'm still in this section of trust and building trust. I've talked about being honest and transparent. And one of the things that I had mentioned in the very first episode of trust was I had gone down a whole list, and understand what trust means. Trust is a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something, right? So one of the things I need to talk about that I come across a lot is reliability. And one of the and within reliability is deadlines, meeting deadlines. So with most of you know, I create websites and I design websites, and I have been able to get a lot of websites done over my 10-year period. 90%, 95% of them have been churches. And one of the things that I pride myself on in that time frame was my reliability and my ability to meet deadlines. Because here's what happens. And especially when you know that organizations are not requiring a whole lot from you per se. And most websites, more especially when it comes to churches, really has a formula. If you understand that formula, you can become reliable and to meet these deadlines. For an example, you're going to ask these individuals to provide their intro to the website, their own words. I mean, this is what I do because I want the feel of the church to come from them. And once someone sees the website and they read it, so forth and so on, they already understand. Once they walk into this building, they hear the same voice, right? People are using the same words, the same flow and sentence structure, things like that. So I pride myself on encouraging whoever's putting the website together, as far as getting me the information, that they put these things into their own words. One of the next things I start to work on is their About Us section, which is their history, if you will, along with anything else that has to deal with ministers, associate ministers, their organizations, and how they would like to have that information portrayed. In most cases, that is a general formula. And these are basically for most websites, right? Overall, depending on the denomination, I oftentimes ask them to provide what they believe in, whatever that may be. And I've come across a varied amount of information because every church is not created equally. And it's very interesting, right? And then I often ask, what's their contact information? Where would they like their contact information, along with their address email addresses, things like that. That way, it does not feel overwhelming for them in the very beginning. Anywhere between 3 to 5 pages max, right? That way, it's not overwhelming, because a lot of times these organizations, and so I use the same formula pretty much for nonprofits too, right? So that way, when they would like to add on, for an example, we want to stream. So how do we add the streaming aspect to the website? It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. It's not overwhelming. But the original bones of the website can be completed, and now they have something for their parishioners, along with anyone else that's in that area that's searching for a church. If they have anything else going on, they now have the bare bones of a website together. All the extra pieces, such as streaming, advertising, getting people to join organizations, creating their own community within the website, all those other pieces are covered. And that's just the way I have operated in order for me to meet my internal deadline for them, as far as, hey, this part is done, we can work on everything else moving forward. Yes, it might feel incomplete in your eyes, but let's jump over one hurdle at a time. So in that moment, they start to have an idea of how reliable I am, how trustworthy I am, what are my abilities, and building that relationship with them, that by whatever their deadlines are, this website can be completed, because now they actually have something to report back to say, hey, we do have something up, we have something going on. So I encourage each and every one of you to find a way to become that individual in building this trust with your clients, with yourself, of taking little moments of putting a framework together. What are your bare bones, right? What is that structure? And then once you put that structure together, how long does it take for you to put that together? Now, yes, people want, from a website perspective, some people want it very, 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 very basic, where it's just words, maybe one picture. There are some people that want it where they have videos of this, and this moves, and this fades in and out, and things like that. Yes, that's fine. We can add all the bells and whistles later on. Understanding, though, that those little things sometimes can slow down your website or can cause other issues, may not show up on people's browsers. It all depends on how you're coding it, and or what website builder you're using. You have to understand all those little pieces for those of you that would like to get into designing websites. So, but what is that framework that you're putting together in order for you to be reliable, dependable, and being able to meet those deadlines? It took me a good 5 years to figure that part out, that everyone is more or less asking for the same thing. And it may take you a short amount of time to understand that hey, this is what my bare bones, this is what people are asking for. Because it'll be nice to say, you know what, these are the 5 pages that every website needs. Well, you can Google that. People will say that to you. And then what happens is you base it upon that. And then next thing you know, as soon as someone goes away from that formula, you're lost. Because I did all of that. I and maybe it was just the way my mind was working at that time, but I would Google information, seeing what this is, that is, and whatever questions that might have come up, any YouTube videos that I have seen on building websites, and even my school stuff. This is the way it is. And then once I had taken my opportunity to actually talk to people to get these things done, all of a sudden it was not as cut and dry as they might have explained. And it threw me off. So at this time, I would like for you to find a way to become reliable, right? Understand what the bare bones are so you can practice it, become a pro at it, and you can reduce your time along with becoming that person, that go-to individual to say, hey, you know what? This person meets deadlines. They can, if there's something in a pinch, they can get this thing done without having a whole lot of negative reviews or feedbacks that comes within that line of trust. I encourage each and every one of you to figure out the bare bones.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.